We are live at Studio B on a very happy Friday at Game Day Eve. This is your day-to-day BYU Sports play-by-play. I'm Spencer Linton, teamed up with Jerem Jordan. And joining us now is former BYU running back and the host of Utah Jazz Game Night, Alema Harrington.
Yeah.
Longtime BYUtv Sports contributor as well, my friend.
Yes, back in the days when we launched BYUtv. I was part of that. Great stuff. And tell you, the tradition is being carried on in a magnificent way. You guys are awesome. I'm glad to be here. This is my first time on Sports Nation.
What?
Yes.
13 years.
What?
I don't blame anyone but Ben Bagley. We can talk about it later. All good. It's great to have you in here. Thanks for coming in.
It's great to be here.
And BYU football in an unbelievable position right now. Not just this season, but kind of where they are in the Big 12 in year 3.
I love where the team is right now. And obviously, Portland State is not a great measuring stick. But at the same time, you have a game like that. I always look at those games against an FCS opponent, and it's like, okay, but how do you maintain it, right, 1 through 3? Because your threes are probably going to play, and they did, obviously, and they maintained focus. And that's a reflection, in my opinion, on the culture. And guys, doing the what sounds sometimes kind of cliche, but I'm playing for everybody else. And I remember I was one of those guys that was getting in second or third string guy, getting at the end of the game, and you feel a little bit of pressure. It's like, man, especially if the defense has got a shutout or something, got to take care of the ball. You saw all of those things from BYU, which is, at this point, what you come to expect from a Kalani Sitake coach team.
You were with us the night that BYU officially became a member of the Big 12 Conference.
Fun night.
It was like a holiday celebration.
The countdown.
Yes, the countdown to Big 12 inclusion. Where have you seen BYU grow the most from that time, Alema, to now early September 2025?
At that point, I think, there were a lot of questions, for people that were BYU supporters, BYU fans. It's like, can we compete at that level from an NIL standpoint? And you weren't sure what that was going to look like, if they were going to open up the coffers. And at this point, now you look at BYU as an NIL juggernaut, like a leader in that category. And whether it's with A.J. DeBonsa and what the basketball team is doing with Kevin Young, which is fantastic. And then obviously you look at football, and that's a different animal, because you got to spread this money around and figure out, okay, how are we going to attract guys? And NIL is important, but BYU's culture is equally important. And you're going to talk to guys on our team at BYU, and they made their decision not necessarily on the NIL money. And that's what you love. That's, as a former player, that's what I love about the program.
Okay, you're going to run out the flag. Tomorrow night.
Run?
Okay, I was going to say.
How's the conditioning?
Are we jog? Are we take it easy on the hammies?
Yeah, back in the day, we used to call it the lineman, trot. So I think my brother and I are going to be trotting more so.
Yeah.
I think between my twin brothers running it out with me, who we played together, we overlapped, and after his mission, we got a chance to play together, which was fantastic, great experience. But I think between us, we've got 7 back surgeries. So
let's not make it 8.
Yeah, let's not make it 8.
7.
Let's just try to get out of there without a hamstring pull, and we'll be good. But I'm excited. Yeah, my kids are going to be there. It'll be a lot of fun.
Trust me, you're going to feel that juice and want to run.
Yeah,
you're going to feel the excitement. You're going to want to run.
And I'll be
simmer down.
That's like, hey, take it easy over here. Yeah.
Alema Harrington is with us on BYU Sports Nation. One more big picture question about BYU football before we get to our Pick'em segment, and that is, with a true freshman quarterback in play, but all of the experience around Bear Bachmeier on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball and the continuity there, what are your realistic expectations, let's say, from a win-loss total for BYU this season?
I think that, if you put the over-under at 8.5, I'm going to take the over on it. And I think there were plenty of question marks going in. How's Bachmeier going to perform as a true freshman coming in? Unprecedented. It's never happened at BYU for a true freshman to start a season opener. And for his performance, I think you got to see what you needed to see. And to your point, Spencer, you look at his surrounding cast, both offensively and maybe, underrated is what the defense does, because if you can have your defense perform as, the way that they're performing, and especially down the stretch, and doesn't put as much pressure on your offense to have to outscore the opponent, that puts you in a great position. But I love the surrounding cast that Bachmeier's got. It's fantastic.
Outstanding analysis from Alema Harrington. Now we transition to our Week 2 Big 12 Pick'em segment. 7 games.
Yes.
You have your opportunity to call your winner in each of those 7. Last week, Tanner Mangum set the table and the standard high.
Really?
6-1.
Dang,
6-1.
Through another Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Connected.
Yeah, he sure did, right?
Granted, not as tough of matchups last week as maybe this week. So maybe we're grading on the curve a little bit, Alema, okay?
Yeah.
But we'll start game number 1, okay?
Yeah.
This is an easy one.
Cut me some slack.
It's an easy one, I think. Oklahoma State at number 6, Oregon. The Ducks are a 28.5-point favorite, Alema. Who are you going with?
Well, I mean, the Ducks, obviously, they're ranked. They're coming into it. They've got a little bit of momentum. Interesting, you saw their first game, and they've got a running back that's supposed to be the star of their offense that didn't see a whole lot of touches. I think they get their running attack on pace. And I think, I'm going with Oregon in this. I think that's kind of a no-brainer.
Oregon for sure. Oklahoma State's Mike Gundy is starting to make excuses.
Yeah.
That's not good in the lead up to a game.
I'm just going to need him to leave his shirt on, okay?
That happened too in the press conference this week. What's going on?
What?
He's almost 60. He's a man.
We're all going Oregon for understandable reasons. Okay, game 2. Baylor lost a tough game at Auburn.
Yeah.
Or rather, at home against Auburn, I should say. Looking to bounce back against number 17 SMU in Dallas. Alema, who's it going to be?
I was around when SMU got the death penalty, and we ended up getting a few players that came to BYU. And it takes a long time to resurrect from that. Obviously, last year, they played extremely well. I think they got momentum coming into this. So I'm going to pick SMU in this game.
I really liked Baylor preseason. I didn't like what I saw last week, although sort of Robertson threw for 419. Give me SMU to win this game. Baylor doesn't do what BYU did last year, which is beat the Mustangs.
I think there's a rallying cry in Waco. Sawyer Robertson figures it out. He played well. Not as good as he wanted to. Really good quarterback, one of the best in the Big 12. I think they get a gritty road win against SMU as an underdog.
Okay.
Game number 3, the battle for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. Iowa at number 16, Iowa State. Big 10 versus Big 12. Who are you going with, Alema?
If I'm not mistaken, right, in this early rivalry matchup, the away team has won the last 5 in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
Super weird.
I'm going to say that the trend is broken this time, and the home team wins. I'm going to go with Iowa State.
I go Iowa State as well. I just think right now they're the number 1 team in the Big 12, and they won this on a 50-something yard field goal last year on the road. They can do it at home this year.
I believe in Matt Campbell. I think that team is incredibly well coached. It's a trifecta here. We all pick Iowa State. Game 4, Kansas State. Weird start to their season. They lost to the aforementioned Iowa State, then survived at home against an FCS team, North Dakota. Now they get Army.
Yeah.
Do you believe Kansas State can figure some things out?
Do you believe in our troops?
What is going on with the Avery Johnson's family? Like the dad and the brother.
Fight in Ireland?
Like what was going on
so weird.
With that? That was bizarre in itself. I mean, that becomes a side story, and you hope for Avery Johnson that he's able to kind of.
Has your brother ever fought your dad?
No, we're smarter than that. Yeah. My dad, was a big Samoan guy that you didn't want to mess with. But I got Kansas State winning this. Avery Johnson, it's a fantastic quarterback, dual threat guy. I love the way that he plays, and so I'm Kansas State.
Love our troop. Give me the Wildcats.
Yeah, Kansas State's they'll figure some things out.
Yeah.
It might be close and weird again, but I mean, Army had their own troubles.
They lost to Tarleton State, no state last week.
So let's go K-State.
K-State.
Game 5, the border war. There's some harsh feelings between these two teams. Kansas at Missouri. You like the SEC, or do you like Kansas in the Big 12?
Let me see. I got to take a look at my notes here. Kansas and Missouri.
I love that you came so prepared.
Yeah. I'm not sure that I had that one on my list
of
ones to pick.
Okay, well, I'll tell you this much. I'll give you a little context. Missouri's about a 6-point favorite.
Yep.
They are on their home field, but Kansas has a healthy Jalen Daniels at quarterback. Kansas looks formidable with their new offense in place.
Okay, then just without having really researched this game, I'm going to go with Kansas.
Okay.
Yep.
Todd Reesing is not walking through that door for Kansas. Give me Missouri in the SEC.
Okay.
Just matters more.
I think line play will be the difference. I think they have a little better Owen.
Okay. I think Jalen Daniels in Kansas, they're going to shock some
Let's
people.
go.
Yeah. I'm a believer in the Jayhawks early in the season. I'm with you.
I feel good about that.
I'm anti-Kansas. After the last 2 years against BYU, I am anti-Kansas football.
Understandable.
Jeez.
Game 6. Interesting one here. Number 12 Arizona State, highest ranked team in the Big 12 in the AP poll. They got to go to Stark Vegas. And they're going to get a lot of cowbell, Alema.
Yeah.
They were practicing with cowbells in Tempe earlier this week. Are you taking the Bulldogs of Mississippi State at home in a little bit of a revenge game as well? I'm
a big local player guy. Like I watch football, and not so much teams as much as I'm looking at, okay, where's the the local product, and then I'm figuring, how do we get let it to BYU? How do we get snow it into BYU? How do we get, I'm always watching games like that. So I like Sam. I played with Sam's dad, and he's a fantastic quarterback. I'm going to go with Arizona State in this one.
Yeah, I got a fever, and the only remedy is more cowbell.
Yeah.
But forks up, Arizona State wins on the road.
So the remedy is not strong enough.
It's not strong enough.
Oh.
No. That's one of the best SNL skits
I'm
ever.
a lone man on my island. If you have not been to Starkville, and I have on multiple occasions, you understand it gets weird down there. And it might get weird for Arizona State. I like Mississippi State to pull the upset over Arizona State.
Let's see if Scattaboo can give them some more, some
good
bulletin,
vibes.
some bulletin board stuff, to be upset about and motivate your team. But I'm still with Sam Levin in Arizona State.
Sure.
Yeah.
I know Cam Scattaboo will be watching from New York.
Yes,
he will.
Playing
with
for the
Jackson
Giants.
Dart, speaking of local guys.
Yes.
That showed up at the game last week, which was cool.
Love it.
Finally, and if you don't pick BYU here, you're never going to come back on the show again.
Yes.
It'll be another 13 years.
I think for anybody that knows my father's history, my father was one of the first recruits out of Hawaii. He was a high school All-American, first ever outside the continental United States, but he played football at Stanford. He was a running back back in the John Brody era. But as my dad would say, blood is thicker than water. And so, of course, I'm picking BYU. And BYU is a heavy favorite in this game. Watch Stanford play against the University of Hawaii in week 0. And, not necessarily impressed with either of those teams, speaking of Hawaii and Stanford. But BYU is certainly, they are heads and shoulders above Stanford right now. And I think it's going to be a good matchup.
Stanford only scored 13 offensive points against Hawaii. They got, a fumble in the end zone that they scooped up. I think the BYU defense is really going to shut down Michael Ford in that run attack of Stanford. Give me BYU by 1 million.
Yes, BYU, big win. I don't see how Stanford scores more than 14 points. I don't see it.
Yeah, if even that. I'm with you. This defense is phenomenal. In my opinion, led by Glasner and the rest of that linebacking core. Offense, defense, special teams. BYU last week looked, it's hard to say because of the opponent, but they looked not maybe mid-season form, but a quarter of the way in week 1. That's a good sign.
51 yards allowed. I guess that's good enough.
Yes, we'll go with that.
Alema, are you going to wear any pads when you run the flag out tomorrow?
No, just neoprenes, and I'll have plenty of braces on both the knees, the hips, the back. Everything will be protected so that I get out of the. I just want to avoid getting stampeded, not necessarily by the players, but I've got my kids running out. They're just like, hey, don't run over Dad on the way.
Don't run into the tuba.
It's like let's keep everybody healthy.
It would be funny if you pulled a Stanford band thing, though. Like you just ran into a
Find the trombone player.
Yes. That'd be funny.
As long as you can beat Fowler and Robbie Bosco in a foot race, you're good, Alema.
I don't know that I could beat Fowler. Bosco, I got. Bosco, if you're watching, I can take Bosco.
Alema's coming for you.
Alema, great to have you on the show, man.
Thanks, guys.
Let's not wait another 13 years.
Let's do it.
Next time we'll talk about AJ and Richie to the Jazz. That's the next topic. Next time.